Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Rick Jansen in Denver and Trinh in Virginia. And
Hi
we
there.
are showcasing what it's like to be a brand new agent in eXp. Trinh she's passed her exam. She's awaiting her license number. And last week we both had some accountability, right? So I was supposed to extend her guest pass and she was going to come up with 50 prospects to talk to start selling some homes as soon as she's ready and start networking. So I'm pleased to report that I went into eXp World. It's our 3D avatar world. It's really kind of cool. It's like playing Nintendo. And I went into go to an agent onboarding the lobby. I took a little ticker number and I was like number two. I waited 2 minutes and boom, I was immediately pulled into a table, and you can get pulled into a table from anywhere in eXp World. And I sat down with somebody, I don't know where in the country she was, because all of our full-time staff work from home. And I said, hey, I've got this wonderful agent, Trinh who needs her guest pass extended. And she looked her up and said, bada bing, bada boom, you're extended. And so Trinh is now able to explore all our classes, all our training, our 50 hours a week of live coaching and coursework. She's now able to do that. On your end, were you able to do your 50 people in your sphere?
I was, yes. And I've actually started reaching out to some. I actually have names of 3 real estate agents that I'm going to be talking to just to get some feedback on what it's like in the industry, especially in our market. I'm in Virginia, right outside of DC. So our market is extremely on fire, as most are right now, but ours is extremely competitive. We can't keep houses on the market for long. I don't know how it is in Colorado, but it's nuts out here.
Yeah, so we have a very high churn rate, right? Everybody talks about low inventory, and that's actually not true. It's low active inventory. When you look at the actual number of homes that are under contract and the number of homes sold, we're actually selling more than ever. So that means inventory in general has been high, but there's insatiable demand, and demand is crushing the supply. So even though supply is up, demand is up faster, which means active inventory is very low, which means that you do have 30, 40 offers on a home, which do means you have appraisal waivers and people paying cash and all this other stuff going on. But it's not because inventory itself is low, it's because active inventory is low because of insatiable demand.
Yep, I agree with that. I've had to, I had to change my mindset a little bit because I didn't understand the market. But now that I'm in real estate, I've learned a bit. I've talked to a lot of different agents, and I'm understanding now what the landscape is. But it's frustrating because I want to have my license so I can do something, But I will say that I did talk to the Virginia Real Estate Board earlier this week, and they got my application. I was worried. I was so worried, with snail mail, because that's the way they prefer you send it.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I said, are you serious? I can't send it via email. They said, nope, either fax or mail.
I can't fax from where I am.
Well,
where are you?
I don't
2021.
Yes. Well, I wanted to say that, but I didn't. But yes, I don't trust fax either. I just felt like, okay, you know what? I can just see so many things happening. So I sent it certified, and I verified that they received it, and they have it. They have my fingerprints. I'm just waiting now the processing time. And okay. Unfortunately, DPOR is backed up. So we just have to be patient. But in the meantime, I am talking to people just to get, lay of the land and find out more about real estate, what they're doing, what some of their best practices are. It's good to learn from a lot of different people. So,
awesome. So you had a task of 50 sphere of influence.
Yes.
Writing it down, name, phone number, email, and we couldn't record on Monday. So I'm glad you did that. You've been taking action since. How have those conversations been going?
Well, most of my friends already know that I'm in real estate. So most of my family and friends, that my sphere of influence are I would say, probably 30% family and friends, because both my husband and I have large families. So really, really easy to reach out to them. And most of them know. The only ones that wouldn't know are the ones that don't live close by. But that's changing because, again, with eXp, I can cross borders and have people send me leads from out of state. So it's a wonderful opportunity. But they've been going great. Everybody's very supportive. Everybody wants to help me. It's just a matter of making sure they remember that I'm now in real estate. I think that's the key because they're so used to me doing a certain profession for so many years, and to say, okay, anytime you talk to somebody, anytime you're talking to a neighbor, when you talk to a friend or a colleague, keep me in mind, because that's how you're going to get those referrals, right? That's how you're
Right.
going to get people to you. So.
Yeah, it's staying top of mind, and it's staying top of mind as a professional. So one of the things I want to encourage you to do when you're having the Ford conversation, the family, occupation, recreation, dreams, when you're having that conversation with people, make sure that you update their address, their physical address. Because once you get access to the MLS, and maybe you can do it through, I know I can do it through our MLS. You might be able to do it through yours or not. If not, we can get you into other services that can. You can set for a very low cost. Usually, if it's not for free in your MLS, it is a very low cost. It's like $15 to $20 on a lot of different services. You can set people up on a monthly home valuation email. And that home valuation email, you customize it once and set it and forget it. But now everybody in your contact list starts getting a home valuation from you. One of the ones that I'm using recently is called HomeBot, and homebot.ai, and I don't have any affiliate link there. People just can Google it and find them. But what it does is it shows people, here's your equity, here's your interest rate, here's your payment. Is it a good time to refinance? Could you take out a HELOC? Could you rent your property? If you were to buy another property using this as leverage, what would that look like? And could you rent your current one and buy a new one? Right? And it runs just automatically every month. It starts sparking some ideas in their mind. What would it look like to take out a HELOC loan to remodel your bathroom, or add a bedroom, or dig an egress window, right? People say, what's the fastest way to add value to my home? Well, add a bedroom. Oftentimes in the basement, for $2,500, you can dig a window well, add a closet, and you've got a bedroom. You just added value to your home in excess of $2,500. Because now your 3-bedroom home is a 4-bedroom home. Your 2-bedroom home is a 3-bedroom home. It has more utility. And so people can see that. And then once you call them in the future, you can be like, hey, are you getting those home valuations, that I'm sending you? Oh, yeah. Hey, do you find them more accurate than Zillow? Right? Do you find them more accurate than probably the world's most popular home valuation website, right? And you'll get them engaged in a conversation. It does just, having your home value, does it inspire you to refinance, or does it kind of inspire you to look for a new home? Because interest rates where they are, with interest rates where they are, you should be either refinancing or selling. It's one of the two.
Right. I agree. So I think you briefly mentioned this in our last call, but HomeBot, is it just a service that you are able to send people via mail, or is it email?
It's email. And oftentimes a lender will pay for half of it. And so you can, when you start calling around to lenders and you start trying to find a lender you want to work with, homebot.ai, HOMEBOT.ai. I'm not selling the service. Again, I don't have an affiliate link if you're watching this later. I just find it to be a useful one. There are a number of different ones. Like, there are probably 45 different valuation tools, but not all of them provide all that extra detail. As far, like, there'll be a graph of the monthly trends over the past year, knowing the equity and the interest rate, which are all public record, on title, but it just sucks in all that information, and the artificial intelligence processes it, puts it through a bunch of different formulas, but it presents you now as the expert.
Right.
And then you can start sending out a monthly e-newsletter, right? You can either write this yourself, or there are a number of services that will do it for you. And this series is going to speak to people of all means, right? Some people are going to have $0 when they're getting started. Some people will have a little kitty to fund their investment, right? So there are services. I talked to one yesterday, $3,500 a month, done for you. We run your Facebook ads, we create your website, we'll prospect for you, we'll just set you appointments. We're basically a marketing department for $3,500 a month.
That's awesome.
When you think about it, and they had all sorts of different levels, right? From like 500 to 3,500. But I interview companies like this all the time just to see what's out there. And this one was kind of cool because, like, for someone who is starting out and they're like, I have money to hire an assistant and I'm going to pay them $36,000, $40,000 a year. This is an all-in-one marketing tool that will do marketing, branding, postcards, website, Facebook ads, Google ads, call your leads for you for $3,500, for, like, I think it was $3,500 a month, right? Which, to hire a full-time person that's actually capable of doing that, it would be very impossible to do, right?
Mhm.
But their company model, which is pretty cool, is if we hire enough staff, we can do this for more people because it's not a full-time job.
And can you send me more details? This is awesome, good news for me because as a new agent, brand new to the industry, but even not even licensed yet, I'm sitting here in the process of revamping a lot of my social media sites and also looking to get involved with more social media. In the past, I haven't typically been active. However, I know it's important for my career as a real estate professional. One of the things that is a little overwhelming is, when you're doing all this, how do you start? How do you start marketing yourself on real estate? Where do you begin? What are the things you say? What are the things you talk about? One of the things I've come to understand in looking at other real estate professionals and what they're doing on their social media sites or websites, you want to add value, right? You want to add value to your client or your potential customer. And so to be able to add what you talked about is the HomeBot analysis. I think that's really important because I think that not only are you giving people information that's relevant to them, but you're also triggering those conversations because when you do follow up with them, you can actually talk about something that they care about, right?
Right.
Which is important.
One of the least expensive ways I've found to have content just created for you so that you're kind of present, keeping current matters. When I signed up, it was like $20 a month. It might be 30 now or something. I don't know. But there's a website called keepingcurrentmatters.com. And they create little 15-second videos, little articles. Every month they do a market report that's fantastic that you can download as a PowerPoint. You can customize your own branding. You can change the wording. You can upload it then as a PDF. They have quarterly buyer and seller reports, as well as first-time home buyer reports.
Okay.
So there's a spring, a fall, a winter, a summer guide that you can then put your own name on, put your own brand on, and have quarterly reports, right? And so you're gonna you make an announcement. Hey, I've got the spring quarterly selling report. Who wants it? Or the summer buyer guide for 2021. And all of a sudden, for $20 or $30 a month, you have all this content done for you, making you look like a pro.
That's great.
Right out of the gate, and for cheap, right? I mean, this one example was $3,500 a month. That's kind of the extreme. This starts at $30 a month, right? And then you can go on canva.com and you can create some little snippets and stuff like that. So whether you're doing it for on a tight budget or whether you have a budget to spend, there's a different path.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
And those are things that I want to know because as I'm waiting for my license, I know some of that I can't do until I'm technically licensed, but I can start to research those, get some ideas in my head about how I want to start marketing myself, what my branding is going to be, so that once I am licensed, I can get that going out of the gate, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so the thing anybody can do for free is warm up your sphere, talk to them, make sure you have an accurate name, obviously, which you have, the phone number, making sure it's a cell phone, because every once in a while you're going to want to do text blasts, like if you're doing it, a little event in your backyard once COVID lifts, or once people are vaccinated, and if you want to have a little barbecue or just have people over cocktails or lemonade or whatever you want to do, you want to make sure you have your text, cell phone number. You want to make sure you have an accurate email. With the email, you're going to start sending them e-newsletters, and again, there are services for that, and we can talk more about that. You can start just making your own, like you can get a free MailChimp account and use the Keeping Current Matters content and put it into MailChimp and send it out. Going up a step from that, you can use BombBomb. BombBomb allows you to send a little video along with your email, and then it tracks when people open it and how long they've watched the video, which is really, really cool. I think they have a heat map now where it shows if they've stayed engaged for the whole thing. At the very least, I know they show if they've opened the video and clicked the link. But you can go, hey, I'm Trinh, yeah, obviously, or hey, it is Trinh, good to see you. You can see me, I can't see you, but here's my monthly newsletter, providing you with fun events in the community, things that you need to be aware of in terms of street sweeping. And oh, by the way, here's a little market report. Keep it short, but I'm going to include that as well. Talk to you soon. Bye. Reach out to me if there's any way I can help you with anything. If you need a dog walker, if you need a window repair guy, if you need a landscaper or someone to do your fences or a handyman, call me and my network will be able to get it for you. Now, if you don't have a network, hop on nextdoor.com,
Oh,
log on your address, and now you have a network,
yep.
right? Nextdoor is full of people asking for plumbers and handymen and fence repair guys. And so anytime somebody asks you for something, even if you're brand new and know nobody, hop on nextdoor.com, and now you know people, and they have referrals and recommendations, and you can say, reference someone, say, hey, you know what? Like, Bob in Willow Creek just recommended this handyman. He really was glowing about him, and everybody else, like there were 15 likes on it. Can I give you his phone number and you can interview that guy? And you reference someone in the neighborhood, and you connect them with somebody, and now you've been of service to them as it relates to their home, and they're going to start coming to you as a resource for everything. You want them coming to you for anything. Where's the best milkshake? Whatever. Like, turn to you as a resource, because then when they are thinking about selling a home, you're still going to be their resource.
Right. That's a great idea. I'm actually active on our Nextdoor. We learn a lot just from being on it, and you get to meet a lot of people. So it is a great resource. So let me ask you something, Rick.
And while we're on that train, don't advertise on Nextdoor.
Yep.
I think that's kind of a waste of money. And Nextdoor will hammer you to advertise as a realtor on there. I think that is absolutely a waste of money. I've tried it a couple of times, and I didn't have success. So then I went on various different real estate mastermind groups. And when people were posting about it, there were like 100 people who said, I didn't make any money on it. There were 100 more people who said, wasted my money, 100 more people. So I wouldn't advertise on there, but I would be on there as a valuable resource that is interacting with the community.
I agree. And providing value. I am a little surprised that it hasn't been successful in terms of advertising, but I think the value is interacting with the people on Nextdoor.
It's relationships.
Yep, it's relationships.
Right? Nextdoor is about relationships, and everybody knows 15 realtors. So seeing one just pop up in the feed isn't necessarily going to trigger them. But if you're on there liking their comment, if you're on there not just liking, but if you're commenting, if you're interacting, if you say, every once in a while I drop on there like, hey, this is what I do for some of my real estate clients, is I recommend Bob, the handyman. All my real estate clients have had a lot of success with him. Here's Bob's number. Here's my number in case you want another referral, right? And I just put myself out there. I lightly reference my career, but I don't like realtor, and they won't allow you to come on there as a business. Like, you can't share a market report on Nextdoor. We're flagged because they're trying to sell advertising to realtors, so they won't allow us to talk about our business. So you have to be a lot more subtle about it.
And what type of tips would you give when you say you lightly reference your business? How do you go about doing that?
Yeah, so if someone's asking for a handyman, I say, hey, a lot of my real estate clients, I work with a lot of homeowners because I'm a realtor, and Bob the handyman has done really well for all my clients.
Okay, great. That's a great.
Right? Yep. And sometimes that's a little heavy, right? Sometimes it's not so heavy, right? But and sometimes what I'll do is, like, we had Salinas Windows did a great job on our egress window. So I created a little video to promote him. Well, he was here for 3 days. Edgar was here for 3 days. I set up a little phone on time lapse on a tripod, and I did a time lapse of him digging our egress window over the course of 3 days. And then I just held my camera, right? Because they all have stabilization built in right now. So I held my cell phone. I recorded him like, Edgar, can you tell us a little bit about your business? And he told me a little bit about his business. So if you have no video editing skills whatsoever, you can go on Fiverr, and for $25, somebody will spin that into a little promo video for Edgar, right? And now I said, hey, it's Rick Jansen, Rick the Realtor in Denver, Colorado. And one of the great ways to add value to a home is to add a bedroom. So Edgar here dug a bedroom window for us. He did a fantastic job. I want to recommend him to the world. Edgar, tell us a little bit about it. Edgar was talking about his service. Fiverr interspliced, the time lapse of the window to make it kind of visually exciting. And some graphics that they added. And now I have a little 90-second recommendation video that's branded to me as a realtor. So now when somebody says, who is a great egress person, I say, I just used Edgar. He's fantastic. Here's his phone number. And here's a little link if you want to meet him. And I post a link to Edgar's video, which brands me as a realtor.
Right.
Right. And now I can post that for free on YouTube. I can upload that to my KV Core website, and I can create a little egress window page. So now people are on my real estate website. I can embed Wistia so I can see if they've watched it. There are all sorts of different ways you can get sophisticated with it. But if I create, on my denverrealestateoffice.com/egress windows, right? If I create a page that says that, and Edgar's video on there and my testimonial about him, now when I post on Nextdoor and I say, here's my recommendation for Edgar, now they're on my real estate website watching the video about Edgar.
That's awesome. So, but not only are you,
so that's like next level.
Right. But not only are you promoting yourself too, you're also promoting him. And this is where this goes to the whole relationship building, right? It's not just relationship building with your potential clients as far as really selling and buying, but also with vendors, because they're going to be important to referrals for you.
Right.
And I think that's a good, I really think that I really believe in karma. And I think if you help other people, to come back to you.
Absolutely. So Edgar had never had anybody make a video to promote his business, right? He thought it was like $500 or $5,000 to make a video to promote his business. Here I just took the time, and I'm just working in my home office. He's digging outside, my window, and I have a time-lapse camera set up. And all I had to do was go out there for about 5 minutes, show genuine interest in him and his business, ask him about his COVID protocols, because it's one of the reasons I hired him. Show him in the house being super clean, wearing gloves and wiping stuff down. And then I can recommend him genuinely as a high-risk family. I could say, look, this guy really took care of us, and I felt safe inviting him in because he's genuine, he's nice, and he had good COVID protocols, and he did a great job for a great dollar.
That's awesome.
And now I send him that link, right? And I say, Edgar, I made a little video to promote you. What do you think? Oh my God, he lit up. And so then I say, Edgar, can you, if people are asking for a referral, please feel free to use this website and this link. I will be your video testimonial. And by the way, if you have an email list of past clients, could you just send this out to them? Because he's like, how much does it cost? I'm like, nothing. But if you could send it out to your email list, I'd be really grateful.
So he's helping you.
Exactly. So when you're part of what you can do too, when you're calling your sphere, is, ask them like, hey, remind me what you do for a living. Family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So occupation, remind me what you do for a living. I'm an aerospace engineer. Sorry, I can't help you. But if somebody owns their own business, if somebody has a restaurant, if somebody has, you ask them like, hey, who's your avatar? Who is somebody that I could send to you right now, today? Like, who could I call today to send you business? And they're going to be like, what? Yeah, who can I call today to send you business? Who's your ideal client? And they're going to say, well, I'm a window cleaner, right? Anybody with windows, or I own a restaurant. I own a Mexican restaurant, or whatever it might be. I own a frame store. I frame art for a living, whatever it might be, right? And say, who can I send you business today? And if they tell you, do your best to send them business today. Right? Awesome. Make no other calls for the next hour until you can find a client for them and put them on the phone. And if you come from that is really coming from a place of value, right? You just found them business. You just made them money. And you didn't ask for anything in return. They're going to bend over backwards to help you.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Yep, I agree. So, Rick, let me ask you something. You've given me a lot of good information today as far as some of the tools you use. For someone waiting for their license, and there's so much you can do in terms of warming up your sphere and preparing for what you want to do in terms of once you get that license, how you want to approach your marketing or starting to reach out to people to let them know about yourself. What marketing or what social media tools would you recommend in terms of the top 3 right now for someone just starting out?
Yeah, so I'm going to put this in the comments. I'm going to put keeping current matters, HomeBots, MailChimp, and no affiliate links, just straight up tools.
Okay.
So I'm going to put that in the comments on this show.
Great.
Just so I remember. Also on today's show, coming from a place of value, referrals, and being present. I'm just taking notes too, because I want to know what we talked about. Present on how to be present and how to be present on nextdoor.com, making referral videos for contractors and businesses, as well as, what else did we talk about? Oh, how can I send you a client today script? Cool. That'll just like remind me what we talked about today, and then I can put that in the comments on the videos, partly for your SEO value, partly to help you, partly to remind me, and that way too you can just kind of go down some of those rabbit holes for the next couple of days and explore those resources. And before you buy one or before you hire one, interact with the competitors. Tell me what you like.
Yep, and I'll definitely reach out to you. I'll probably have questions. One of the things that I just going back to eXp World, thank you for extending that, because I find a lot of value in that, especially with the state broker rooms. It's getting me engaged with the people that are in my eXp brokerage, and it's helping me get plugged into the meetings that they have on a regular basis. For example, every Friday they have a rookie roundtable, at 11 o'clock. And so that's something that I like to attend. Then they have their, once a month meetings and for different things, whether it's the brand new agent onboarding or the multi-state broker address. For us, we're here in Virginia, so we have a Virginia, Maryland, DC broker address. So those types of things are helping me, and I get to meet other people in the eXp world and learn about what's going on in Virginia real estate. That's
awesome.
So, yep.
Awesome. Well, we've gone double our normal time. Yeah, but we had a Monday show to make up, so that's awesome.
Well, I will be on vacation next week. I'm actually going to the beach. So I don't know if I'll be honest with you, I can't tell you where I'm going to be, but if you want to try to hook up, we can.
Absolutely. I'll be here at this time.
Okay.
on our two scheduled times. If you can stick to them, that'd be awesome.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your help, Rick. I really appreciate it. And
absolutely,
we'll have some more fun stuff to talk about next time.
All right. Add another 50 to that list too, if you can.
I will work on it. I will.
Anywhere in the country.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.